Anand sat before the Buddha, his face clouded with frustration. Seeking solace for the turmoil within his heart, "Master," he began, "I have taught my son the Eightfold Path, but he disregards my words and mocks my efforts. He chases fleeting pleasures, tarnishes our family's name, and brings sorrow to my heart with each passing day," Anand said. The Buddha listened intently, his gaze unwavering, his voice a soothing balm amidst the storm brewing in Anand's soul. "Anand," the Buddha began, "there was once a farmer whose son neglected his duties, leaving the fields barren and untended. The farmer, despite his toil and suffering, spoke no harsh words to his son, who idled his days away. Villagers questioned him, asking, 'Why do you not chastise your son? Who lets you suffer and neglects his responsibilities?' The farmer replied, 'If bitterness takes root in my heart, love will wither, and this household will crumble. As long as love remains, even the most wayward soul may find their path, returning to righteousness with time. Anand, you must understand that love is not tested in moments of ease but in the trials of sorrow. Your son's path is clouded with confusion and desires, but your patience may light the way forward. Do not harbor wrath or despair, for they obscure the boundless compassion that lies within your heart. Consider the parable of the lantern that burns brightly, even in the darkest nights, illuminating the way for others. A man once extinguished such a lantern in anger, plunging his home into darkness, leaving his family in disarray. Days passed, and misery grew, until a wise elder relit the lantern, guiding the man back to his senses. Love is the light that turns darkness into dawn. Anand, nurture this light within you, and your son may yet change." Anand bowed deeply, his tears flowing, as he recognized the profound wisdom within the Buddha's teachings. The Buddha continued, his voice steady and full of compassion, "Anand, reflect on the river that erodes the hardest stone. Through persistence and gentleness, the river reshapes the world, turning barren landscapes into fertile grounds for new life. Let your love flow like the river, patient and unyielding, until it reshapes even the most stubborn soul. Anand, plant the seeds of love in the barren soil of disappointment, and trust that they will grow with time." The disciples surrounding them listened intently, their hearts stirred by the teachings that unfolded before their very eyes. "Master," Anand said, his voice trembling, "how do I cultivate such patience when disappointment fills my heart with despair?" The Buddha replied, "Anand, meditate upon the lotus that blooms in the mud, its beauty untouched by the filth around it. The lotus does not lament the mud nor shun its roots, but rises above, transcending its humble beginnings with grace. Likewise, your love must rise above disappointment, steadfast and unwavering, until it blossoms into compassion and understanding. Cultivate this patience not for your son alone but for yourself, for in loving others, we discover the depths of our strength." Anand knelt before the Buddha, his burden lightened by the wisdom shared with him, his resolve strengthened for the path ahead. As the Buddha finished his teachings, the disciples whispered among themselves, marveling at the profound truth they had witnessed. The sun set over the gathering, its rays casting a golden glow upon the serene figure of the Buddha. Anand rose, his heart brimming with newfound understanding, ready to face the challenges that lay ahead with renewed compassion. Through his teachings, the Buddha revealed the power of patience and love, transforming the lives of those who listened. Another day, another weary soul approached the Buddha, seeking wisdom for burdens too heavy to bear alone. Mira, a mother plagued by her son's misdeeds, knelt before the Buddha, her heart heavy with despair. "Master," she began, her voice trembling, "my son's lies and thefts have brought shame and sorrow upon our family. I have loved him tirelessly, yet he repays my love with betrayal. leaving me bound to suffering without respite. Mira said, shall I sever this bond of love to escape this anguish, or endure it until my heart crumbles? She pleaded. The Buddha listened patiently, his eyes filled with compassion. Before he spoke, his voice a gentle wave soothing her storm. Mira, he began. There once was a merchant traveling with an unwanted companion, a beggar who followed him without invitation. The beggar asked for food and shelter but offered nothing in return, leaving the merchant embittered by his presence. One day, the merchant entered a mountain pass, where a storm arose, threatening his life with unrelenting winds and rain. The path became treacherous, and the beggar collapsed, unable to proceed, his frail body succumbing to the elements. The merchant faced a choice: abandon the beggar to his fate or lift him to safety despite his anger. Moved by pity, the merchant carried the beggar on his back, shielding him from the storm that raged around them. To his surprise, the beggar's warmth protected the merchant, saving them both from the perilous conditions. When the skies cleared, the merchant saw the beggar's face, radiant with gratitude, and felt his own heart transformed. Mira, love is not a chain that binds us to pain, but a bridge that leads to inner strength. Carry your son not because he deserves it, but because in doing so, you discover the depth of compassion within. Your son's misdeeds are like the storm, testing the endurance of your love, revealing its boundless potential. Mira wiped her tears, her heart stirred by the Buddha's wisdom, finding solace in the strength he saw within her. The Buddha continued, his voice steady and resonant. Mira, reflect upon the tree that bends but does not break in the fiercest winds. Though battered and bent, the tree rises again, its roots deepening, its branches reaching higher with each storm it endures. Love, like the tree, grows stronger through trials, drawing upon the soil of patience and compassion to weather life's hardships. Do not sever the bond that connects you to your son, for it is through love that transformation becomes possible. The disciples listened intently, captivated by the Buddha's teachings that illuminated the path to resilience and enduring compassion. Mira said, her voice quivering, Master, how do I endure this suffering without losing myself, without succumbing to despair? The Buddha replied, Mira, meditate upon the pearl that forms in an oyster, born from irritation and shaped by perseverance. The oyster does not cast away the grain of sand, but encases it in layers of beauty and strength. Likewise, your love must encase your suffering, transforming pain into a source of wisdom and compassion. In enduring for others, we find the light within ourselves, illuminating the darkness that threatens to consume our hearts. Mira knelt before the Buddha, her burden eased by his words, her resolve strengthened to face the trials ahead. The Buddha's disciples marveled at the profound truth revealed in his teachings, their hearts inspired by his unyielding compassion. The sun set upon the gathering, casting a warm glow upon the serene figure of the Buddha and his followers. Mira rose, her spirit renewed, ready to embrace her son with a love that transcended disappointment and pain. Through his teachings, the Buddha transformed lives, revealing the power of love and patience in the face of despair. Another day, another monk sought the Buddha's wisdom, his heart weighed down by the burden of an unresolved decision. Rahula knelt before the Buddha, his face somber, reflecting on the temple boy who had been cast away for misdeeds. Master, he began, his voice trembling, shall we welcome back the boy, or let him wander until his lessons are learned? He disrupted the temple's harmony, disrespected our teachings, and brought shame upon the sacred sanctuary entrusted to our care, Rahula said. The Buddha regarded Rahula with a gentle gaze, his voice calm yet profound. As he began to share his wisdom, Rahula, the Buddha said, consider the parable of the lantern extinguished in anger. plunging a home into darkness and despair. A careless child had snuffed out the light, leaving his family in disarray. Struggling to navigate the obscuring shadows, days turned to weeks, and misery grew, until a wise elder relit the lantern, guiding the child back to wisdom. Rahula, the temple boy's actions have cast shadows, but love and forgiveness are the light that dispels darkness. Welcome him back. For the temple is not only a sanctuary for the virtuous but for those who have lost their way. Reflect upon the seeds that lie dormant in barren soil, waiting for the rains to awaken their potential for growth. Your love and patience are like the nourishing rains, revitalizing the boy's spirit and guiding him toward transformation. Rahula listened intently, his heart stirred by the Buddha's words, finding clarity within the wisdom that unfolded before him. Master, Rahula asked, how do we forgive when disappointment and anger cloud our minds, obstructing the path to compassion? The Buddha replied, Rahula, meditate upon the river that wears down even the hardest stone, reshaping the world through persistent flow. The river does not resist obstacles in its path but flows around them, adapting with grace and gentleness. Forgiveness, like the river, requires persistence and patience, flowing steadily until it reshapes hearts hardened by anger and resentment. Rahula, harbor neither judgment nor bitterness, for they obscure the boundless compassion that lies within the heart's depths. Extend love to the temple boy, not because he deserves it, but because compassion is the essence of your calling. Rahula bowed deeply, his resolve strengthened by the Buddha's teachings. Ready to face the challenges with renewed compassion, the disciples surrounding them marveled at the profound truth within the Buddha's words, their hearts inspired by his unwavering wisdom. The Buddha continued, his voice serene, Rahula, consider the lantern that burns brightly, illuminating even the darkest corners with its gentle, persistent light. When relit, the lantern guides the wayward back to righteousness, serving as a beacon of hope and transformation. Welcome the temple boy back, for love is the light that turns darkness into dawn, revealing paths obscured by shadows. Rahula rose, his spirit renewed, his heart open to forgiveness, ready to embrace the boy with love and patience. Through his teachings, the Buddha revealed the power of compassion in reshaping lives, illuminating hearts with boundless light. As the sun set upon the gathering, the temple stood as a sanctuary, welcoming all who sought wisdom and solace. The temple boy returned, his spirit transformed by the love and forgiveness extended to him, his path guided by light. Thus, the Buddha's teachings revealed that love and patience are the essence of transformation, shaping the world with gentle persistence. Ananda, the Buddha said, his voice firm yet gentle, the greatest lesson you can offer your son is the example of your own life. The disciples nodded, in silent agreement, their hearts resonating with the profound simplicity of his wisdom. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.